week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Nebraska Volleyball just wrapped up another match. Join former Husker Mandy Monson as she breaks down the game from the hard swings and perfect sets to the diving digs and precision passing. 93.7 The Ticket's post-game coverage of Nebraska Volleyball starts now.
Yes, we are happy to be with you here on a Sunday evening talking some volleyball. I'm Jake Bakovan in with our host, Mandy Monson, to talk about Nebraska with yet another sweep today. Keep on rolling through the Big Ten, this time through a Michigan crowd that was ready and willing to be there, where they wanted to see if the Wolverines could knock off number one, at least even in one set. But to no avail. Nebraska Volleyball gets it done, and we are here to talk about it. Mandy, I'll throw it to you. It is what a time to be alive for Nebraska Volleyball fans.
It's amazing. And thanks, Jake, for being here today. I really appreciate it. So the match did not just get done. The match was a 1 p.m. match. Everybody just wanted to, I know you guys know that, but I wanted to let you know. It lasted a total of 1 hour and 21 minutes today. We did not get to 90 minutes. The Huskers played in front of a sold-out crowd in Chrysler Arena. They set an attendance record today for 12,707 people in Ann Arbor watching their hometown girl, Harper Murray, and the Huskers play against the Michigan Wolverines. It was a really solid match by Nebraska. I think they did a great job of making some adjustments on things they could do better. I thought they blocked well today. I thought they passed really well today. I thought, Laney and Olivia and Harper Murray, which are our main, passers in the 6 rotations, did a great job. And the Huskers really just continued their trajectory of being a very consistent, dominant team in their roadshow of Michigan and really in their execution against Big Ten teams. So, we have yet to even lose a set against a Big Ten team so far. So we just really continued our growth, I think, as a team. I saw some really, really dynamic plays today by multiple players on the Huskers. And so if you were not able to watch the match today, go back and see if you can catch it on, Big Plus. I think they carry the matches. And then if you can watch it on YouTube, it was kind of similar to Michigan State, where I didn't feel like Michigan played terrible. They did some really nice things too. They had an attacker, Jacob. I thought she played pretty well today. She had a pretty salty serve. Allison Jacobs, number 2. She had a pretty salty serve. Although she hit negative today, so maybe she didn't play that great. She was one of their left sides though that I thought she got the ball quite a bit. I think what you're seeing is right. Michigan only hit 0.079. So again, going back to the adjustments that we made on the block, we really blocked tough today, and we served tough today. But again, I didn't think Michigan played absolutely terrible. I just think we're just playing at such a high level that it's almost really difficult for teams to be able to overcome, what we're doing. Michigan even had some different runs, in all 3 sets, but I'd say probably in sets 2 and 3. And it's just like, even if they have a little bit of a run, the Huskers just do not give a team much as far as margin to really play with us or even get in front of us. So it was a really fun match to watch today for sure.
Yeah, and it's been a ride again for Nebraska to get here. As you mentioned, still haven't dropped one in a set in Big Ten play, which is incredible. Michigan, of course, was I think a big part of this kind of coming in, and I want to get your thoughts on maybe who you thought the MVP here. But like you said, a lot of this was kind of on Harper Murray coming home, the storyline, because Michigan's a solid team, but yet still maybe trying to find their way here in the Big Ten. But how did you think Harper Murray did on her return trip home?
She did amazing. She did so well. She's just such a fun player to watch. She hit, so her hitting percentage today was 269. But she had a total of 26 attacks today. That she actually got the ball quite a bit today. She had 9 kills, only 2 errors. So I think what Harper though brings just beyond a hitting efficiency, which by the way, for a left side, 269 is not bad. That's still being very productive. Is I think she just has such a presence on the court. And it looked like she was just really comfortable out there. All the Huskers looked, really comfortable. You're talking about an arena that had, 12,707 fans in it, which, by the way, Husker fans travel really well. So it wasn't just, Michigan fans. There were a lot of Husker fans there. So I think that makes it, the away matches aren't necessarily away matches because our fans are traveling so well, which is really cool to see. But Harper played just really composed. She's very composed. She's such a leader. She did a great job of attacking in front of the 10-foot line, and she did a fantastic job attacking behind the 10-foot line. I think she got, let's see, how many aces did she get today? She got 1 ace today. So, she was again productive, again showing why she totally deserves the tap for being the Big Ten Player of the Week last week. Here's something that I saw on the radio, or maybe as a post match. I think that's the first time she's got Big Ten Player of the Week. If that's right, that seems pretty. That's incredible that that's the first time. I know she got some freshman players of the week in her freshman year, but I just think she is really showing her ability to step up and just be a very consistent leader on the court every single match that they have. And the team really, she's a 6 rotation player. So she's out there all the time. So, that's a role that I think she's ready for this year, and that she's really embraced. And I feel like it's not a role that's too much for her. I think she's actually really showing her comfort and her confidence in that role, and just being that consistent, secure, dominant player, and then really stepping up when the Huskers need a kill. She's producing and she's doing that job.
Yeah, it's interesting too. We saw in the Husker football side of thing, Emmett Johnson, go home, and obviously Nebraska football didn't play as well and get the win.
Yeah,
but
Emmett
Johnson himself did play pretty well, and it can always be kind of nerve wracking maybe going in, but usually, I don't know if you can speak on it, whether it's going home or whatever nervous kind of gets you going before the game. Does that usually kind of settle in once you got a few plays underneath you?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's always fun. I grew up in Wallace, Nebraska, so we didn't have any matches in the big metropolis of Wallace. However, though, it was really fun. We went on a trip when I was in college, and Fiona Nepo was our setter, and she's from Honolulu, Hawaii, and we got to go hang out with her family on that trip. And I think whenever as players you get the opportunity to do that, one, you get to, if you're away from home and you get to go home, that's really, it always feels good to go home.
Yeah.
No matter if you're a freshman or a senior, like that feels really good. And then I think for the team to be able to, go over to her house, and the coaches and the team just to see, get a little piece of what her family history is. I think that's always a really fun experience. And it also is like a team bonding experience, because you really, right, you spend a lot of time together, everybody as teammates, and as a Division I volleyball team. It's like you live, eat, breathe, do everything together. And so I think anytime you can then go experience that person and what it was like before they were a Husker volleyball player, that's really, really fun to do. And Coach Busboom said that she was looking forward to doing that when they went out on the road, and in her pre presser before the week got going. And so I feel like it's also a way for teams to really get comfortable in the away city, right? Because they're not really away. They're kind of at home. They're not in the hotel the whole time. So they do get to experience a little piece of that player's home. And then, maybe that relaxes them a little bit too when they come out on the court and then get ready to play for the match.
Yeah, it's quite a unique experience, but like you said, maybe something to kind of get you to know your teammate better. So I'm sure it was a cool experience that they had there today. It's kind of funny because as I'm kind of thinking through this and trying to get your professional opinion on the match today, I try to think, okay, well, what looked different about today than maybe in previous days?
Mm-hmm.
But we're asking you to break down these sweeps and say, well, who played well? Like, well, they all play well generally when you get a sweep.
Yes. So, but they did do some things better today. Like, again, guys, like I really I'm writing notes when I'm watching the match. So, Terea Sigler, so she comes in and serves and passes, plays back row defense, but she's also an attacker from the back row because I don't believe she rotated to the front. So they really, man, no, that's Landfair. Okay, I'm looking at my stats. So yeah, so they set her 3 times right behind the 10-foot line. She got 2 kills. So I think what I'm seeing and what I noticed today is that from an efficiency standpoint, we did better at passing. I think we passed the ball better than we did against Michigan State. And I also think we actually used our back row attackers, not just when we were in trouble and not able to use the front row as attackers. I mean, Terea, I even wrote the note down before, seeing the stats. I just said, wow, like it really had a great match. Like, I think what the Huskers do a great job of is accepting their roles. So Terea is going in. She knows she's going to be playing back row, but she knows that she's an offensive threat from the back row. So she got 2 really explosive kills, and I thought that was great to see. Taylor Landfair continued, I think, a great run that she's having. I talked about this after the Michigan State match. I thought she played very well against what had been Washington. I think we played before Michigan State. And she played very well again today from an attack standpoint and also from a blocking standpoint. So, she had 14 total attacks. She had 7 kills, only 1 error. And then I was looking at her blocking. She had 3 block assists. So I think if I'm going to say, okay, well, what did we do better? What are we getting better at? I would say we passed better today. We definitely blocked better today at the end of the match. And it's different than the box score, but at the end of the match on the production that they did, Huskers had 13 blocks versus Michigan's 6 blocks. We had 36 digs versus their 26. We had a hitting percentage of .390 versus theirs, right? .70. So, I think we did a better job of executing on the things that we can get better at, which if you took a look at the game against Michigan State, I thought it was passing and blocking.
Now, on the opposite end of that, was there anything today that kind of stood out to you as, okay, maybe they took a step backward or maybe wasn't as clean as maybe we'd seen at previous times this season?
It's a great question. I'm going to pause and ponder that. I'm going to say no. I actually feel like I thought the Michigan State match was something where I was like, oh, well, they can definitely get better at that. The clean up the passing a little bit and the blocking. I thought Virginia played a better match today. Her stats reflect that as well. She hit .333 today. 7 kills on 15 total attacks. She hit below 300. The last match. Andy Jackson hit 8. She hit 800. 10 total attacks, 8 kills, and she played really well. I thought I wrote a note about her. No, I didn't write a note about her. She's just awesome, I guess. She's just continuing her string of she's just a presence when she is out there. And so, no, I actually think the Huskers overall in today's match just played really consistent, really confident. And I can't I can't really say, ooh, that like that really broke down. Because I think what they got better at today, again, was having more back row attacks that were actually in system attacks rather than being out of system. And, I felt like, overall, they were pretty dominant, against Michigan. I guess maybe if I'm looking at things, uh, Bergen had a negative attack percentage, meaning, she tried to, dump the ball and she didn't get any kills. So, maybe that would be an area that, she didn't quite execute on as well today, that historically, she's, usually getting a couple kills a match at least with her dump that she does. So I guess that there it is. I just found it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
You gotta find something in the sweeps. The ninth straight sweep to say, hey, you can do a little bit better here.
Exactly. Yeah.
so
Come on,
sometimes
Huskers.
a difficult job. Yeah.
Exactly.
There as we go through it again, Nebraska sweeping at Michigan, the ninth straight opponent. No Big Ten opponent yet has won a set. Nebraska winning the first set 25-18, 25-13 in the second set, and 25-18 in the third set. I guess for those that didn't watch, kind of throughout it, was there a time to be nervous for Nebraska today, or was it pretty smooth sailing from the beginning?
No, I mean there was some back and forth, and like I said, I felt like Michigan early in the sets, I mean, did a pretty good job of hanging with Nebraska. I don't remember the margins. I mean, they were up, sometimes early in the sets, but no, I mean, I think that is what I saw today in the match is even when, Michigan maybe was close or in range, or maybe was up, let's say 2 to 3 points. They couldn't sustain it. And I think the reason why teams cannot sustain that is because we just have too much offensive power. And unless we are really struggling, I would say from a mental standpoint, where we're really struggling passing is what it would be. I mean, unless we are just really not doing well passing, we're not able to even set a ball halfway in system. I think it's very difficult for teams to, I would say, go on a run and really get enough margin to control the set, because we have so many options to be able to throw the ball to. I mean, when you have on, a perfect pass anywhere from 4 opportunities to 5 opportunities, depending on who's serving in the back row, right? Then, I mean, it's a lot of offense to have to defend against. And I think from a physical perspective and from a mental perspective, I mean, you really have to be a strong team to be able to, put up a fight, and again, go on a tough enough serving run with your serving to capitalize that against Nebraska. And like I said, Michigan played pretty well, but it's just like it's kind of like we kind of overtake, and we can overwhelm teams in the fact that it's almost just there's too much there to defend against. And I think also, as you look at teams, in the matches, they also just get physically tired. I mean, again, set 1, we won 25-18. Set 2, we won 25-13. Set 3, they did a little bit better, and again, got back to 25-18. But I would say maybe the third set is where maybe Michigan gave us the best run as far as, okay, is this going to be a more competitive set? But like I wrote a note, there were some nice rallies during the match, kind of similar to Michigan State. There's some nice rallies during the match. We just overpowered them. But to get to point 24, I guess this would have been in set 2. I mean, Becca Alex at the front row, and she makes, I don't know, 2 or 3 plays in a row where it's almost like hard for the other team to get the ball over the net against us. And I just really haven't seen that from any other team. And because we won the match so quickly today. So like I was able to watch some other teams play. Pitt, who's number 6, played Louisville, who's number 4, and Pitt actually upset Louisville. So that'll be interesting to see what happens to the rankings. But in that match, this is the difference. This is the number 6 team in the country. They upset the number 4 team. And to do that, their best player, Olivia Babcock, who I think was the player of the year last year, that she hit 423, which is amazing. And she had 41 kills. Like 41 kills, you guys, is a lot of kills in one match. It was a program record. And it was also on the broadcast, they said that was the highest amount of kills in one match that any player had this year. But this is the difference. You have obviously an attacker. I didn't see the box scores, but if you're getting 41 kills and you're hitting 423, you just do the math. That's a lot of balls that just got set to you. So if you compare that to Nebraska, right? I mean, I think that's why, as we continue to move forward in the Big Ten and we continue to prepare for the NCAA tournaments, we are such a strong team because, Harper, I don't think Harper Murray's ever going to get 41 kills in a match. Why? Because there's Andy Jackson and Rebecca Alec and Taylor Land. She doesn't have to get 41 kills in the match to win. So, and we played Pitt in the first serve. I can't remember if that went 3 or 4 sets, but I just think that is the greatest gift that we have. It's an amazing opportunity, and it's really what sets us apart is just the amount of players that we have on the court, in the front row, in the back row that can terminate, and then the players on the bench. So that's what makes us different and unique, and quite frankly pretty awesome this year when you look at everybody else that's in the field for Division I college volleyball.
Yeah, absolutely. Nebraska, one of 2 undefeated teams, along with Texas. So maybe we'll get your ideas on Texas here in a little bit. But unfortunately, we're up against a break, so we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more of Nebraska's Volleyball Postgame Show with Mandy Monson coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Back to Nebraska Volleyball Postgame on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, former Nebraska outside hitter, Mandy Monson.
Yes, that is right. I'm Jake Bakovic in studio with Mandy. We do have a comment here. I want to make sure to get to your guys' comments. Let us know what you think. 402-464-5685 on the Sartor Heyman text line if you have any thoughts throughout the show, or you can comment on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Like our YouTube listener here, Cody said, like most Big Ten teams Nebraska faces, Michigan took advantage of the moment for the 10 to 12 points, at which point Nebraska gets locked in and starts going on runs that teams just can't come back from.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, Cody, you said that very well, much better than I did when Jake asked me about that. And I think that's a good explanation of what happened actually throughout that match. Michigan, they played pretty good in the beginning of the sets. And then, like I said, I mean, Nebraska just, there's just too many options and too much of an offensive threat. And then also from a defensive, like, it's very tiring when you, the other team, are ripping the ball. Like, you think you're ripping the ball and you're either getting dug or you're getting blocked. I mean, there were some really massive, blocks today by the Huskers. Like I said, they did a better job blocking than they did against Michigan State. And so what's very difficult is to get momentum. I think it's very difficult for opposing teams to get momentum against us right now, because even if, they can kind of play with us in the beginning of the set or they go on a run, we, either have a block that breaks that momentum or there's a long rally. And, we do a pretty good job of winning those long rallies because we're so scrappy. Like, we do not let gravity come into play when we're playing matches. So totally agree with, I think you said it was Cody. And yeah, that's a great summary of, I think, what the Huskers are doing to opponents for sure.
Well, again, the dominance is really impressive. In part of the postgame notes, it says Nebraska has won 28 sets in a row. It's the longest streak since winning 30 in a row in 2010. We all know how good Nebraska volleyball has been since 2010, and obviously before that, long before. But still, I mean, that is incredible. And that's, again, it's. I mean, Nebraska is in competition for a national championship every year. That's a given. We know that. But this team definitely feels, it's not just feels special. They're kind of putting it in the stat books as well.
Yeah, I mean, it feels special, and it's like I observe it to be special, meaning not just my biased opinion because I love Nebraska, of course. But I had because the Huskers won so quickly today. I had the opportunity to watch some other matches today. Like I said, I caught a little bit of the Pitt and the Louisville match, and then I also watched a little bit of Kentucky versus Florida. I don't know how that one ended up. Kentucky's number 3. I don't think Florida's rated, but I think Florida had a good match, and one I believe against Tennessee, who's rated number 16. And when I watch the other matches, it's not that I think the level overall of collegiate women's volleyball today it is really phenomenal. It's very competitive. Everybody's playing at a very high level. But I can honestly say when I watch some of these other matches, I'm not seeing another team executing like Nebraska is executing. Will other teams be able to rise to that? I'm not saying they can't. I just personally have not seen that. I'm happy to have anybody have a arguing opinion of that. I'm sure many of the other schools and people that follow them would say so. I haven't seen it. And so, it's just really fun to watch the Huskers play. I mean, I am really thankful, one, for having this opportunity to do this radio show, because it forces me to watch them. And I think this year, I mean, really, I think this team could be one of the best teams ever at Nebraska. It has the most parity I've ever seen. It's got the most offensive options I've ever seen. They pass at a very high efficient level. And so I think they're demonstrating, why they are one of the best in the nation. Maybe they'll be, one of the best of all time. I don't know. That has to play out. But they're definitely showing that from a physical standpoint and from a presence standpoint when they are on the court, playing competition.
Yeah, it's interesting too, and I always, I know John Cook's done it before, but I always go back to one of his quotes when he was asked about going undefeated in the Big Ten. Of course, there's still plenty of time left and plenty of opportunities ahead of Nebraska that somebody can beat him. So it's again, it's very difficult. But he just thought it wouldn't happen maybe in modern times because of how good the Big Ten is. Cody again chimes in on YouTube and says the only team that scares me at the moment is Texas, and I don't think we'll play a team like them until the postseason. Again, Texas is the only other undefeated team, but Nebraska, if you're looking at immediately just the week ahead, if they can kind of continue, we talked about maybe breaking that streak that they had back in 2010 of 30 straight sets that they've won. They've got Northwestern at home on Friday and then Michigan State at home on Saturday. So it looks like, and Michigan State's been pretty solid, but we did already see Nebraska handle them. Northwestern coming in at 13-7, 3-5 in the Big Ten. But more opportunities for Nebraska to pad their stats. Obviously, you don't take any opponent for granted, but it just looks like Nebraska is going to be able to continue their dominance as long as they keep playing the way they have.
Yeah, and I agree with Cody. By the way, Cody, I'm going to be I think that the Texas match, you and I, Jake, we're talking about that. So Texas plays tonight against Oklahoma. I think it's a 7:30 match. I think it's on ESPN. So I'm going to be watching that. I agree with Cody. Most of my my text group, which is the 96-97 team, I think they would agree with that Texas is going to be the most competitive team. So when we'll match up with them would probably be in a national championship, match if we both, continue to do what we're doing. So, I in playing Northwestern and then coming back and having Michigan State now come to Nebraska, I think it's just continuing to work on the things that we can work on to get better and to get more efficient at what we're doing. I think that's also, like, I guess what I observe when I watch Nebraska is I don't feel like, from a coaching perspective or from a player perspective, do we take for granted what we are doing to other teams. I also think that's very unique. I mean, we really are rolling teams. But I never feel like when I watch the Huskers that they are taking that, like I said, taking that for granted, or that they're just phoning it in. I really feel like every single player, when they are out there on the court, is working on how can I get better at the job and the role that I'm given. And I think they work together as a team to get better. So Campbell Flynn came in at the end of set 3. Manaya Obeche came in at the end of set 3. They did a great job. They, it's really interesting that you can have people come off the bench and it doesn't feel like they had people come off the bench. And I also think that's unique about the Huskers in the pre-match, and in a lot of the talk this week in regards to the Huskers. They were talking about Ali Check, who is the other right side. And she came in against Michigan State, did a great job. She came in a week ago and did a very good job. And, just about her role, where she's not necessarily a starter. In some matches she comes in and some matches she doesn't, but she's really rising up to be a leader on the team. So I think what the Huskers have that I haven't watched in detail every Husker team. So I'm not trying to, please, no former Huskers take umbrage with me, but I haven't ever seen the dynamic that this team has in regards to the physicality at every position. And then also, I just think the acceptance and the intention on what each player has as a role. And I feel like they're all just really unified in that. And that is unique. And that is what teams have to have when they are moving towards the target of winning a national championship team. Again, I don't think that's what they focus on, though. I don't. I mean, I think that's why they're such a great team, because, they're never playing to not lose. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I even feel like with them being undefeated, that I'm sure for them that is a pressure. I'm not, and for the ladies that are, on the team, I'm not saying it's not a pressure for you all. But when I observe them, I don't see them playing like that's a pressure. Like, oh my God, we're undefeated. Like, we have to win this match because we have to keep this streak going. I don't know. I don't feel like that is a pressure for them. I don't think they focus on that. And again, I think because they're always focusing on how do we get better? How do we play Nebraska volleyball? How do we continue to improve? That's why you see the production, and that's why you see the results in the box score, as far as how, dominant we are able to compete and beat teams. And also in the box scores, when you look at the Huskers and the stats and the different, efficiencies that they're putting up from attack, set, serve, reception, and block that you see.
Yeah, it really is an incredible team. As we know, Nebraska volleyball has been for quite some time, but this team may be taking it to another level. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back. We'll wrap things up as Nebraska once again swept a Big Ten opponent, this time Michigan. We'll talk more about it and wrap it up coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Harvest season is coming, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade for this year's harvest. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends August 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor, and we want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
An overdose can happen in front of you and you might not realize it. Blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, choking sounds, unresponsive to touch or sounds. These signs aren't always obvious, but they can be deadly. Knowing what to do could save your friend, your neighbor, your child. Learn more by visiting myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can be ready before it happens. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Limitless Male says, it's all fun and games until your testosterone plummets. Testosterone levels can start falling as early as age 30 with symptoms like no energy, poor sleep, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, and mood swings. If this sounds familiar, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel this good, you'll wonder why you waited so long to get a free consult at Limitless Male. Get scheduled today.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Back to Nebraska Volleyball Postgame on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, former Nebraska outside hitter, Mandy Monson.
Indeed it is. Yes, we are here for the volleyball postgame show today. Mandy in studio with myself, Jake Bakoven, as Nebraska takes care of Michigan. We're putting a bow on the game a bit today and kind of looking toward the future here in this final segment. Once again, Nebraska did beat Michigan, swept him 25-18, 25-13, and 25-18 there in the third set. But it's been an interesting day in volleyball, and if you look ahead to Nebraska's schedule, some interesting stuff ahead for the Huskers. We mentioned it earlier in the show. It'll be start off with a Friday battle with Northwestern at home. Then Saturday they will take on Michigan State at home. But then it'll all lead up to, and obviously more than after this. But I'm kind of a Halloween guy, so I get kind of focused on it.
Absolutely.
A Halloween evening matchup with Wisconsin away from the friendly confines of the Bob Devaney Sports Center. So interesting couple games ahead for the Huskers.
Yeah, and that'll be an interesting matchup, like you and I were talking about when we were looking at what was happening around the country. So USC, they upset Wisconsin today, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So USC upset Wisconsin today, 3-1. So like today was kind of interesting. Kentucky, I touched on that. So Kentucky went 3-2 with Florida today. So, right, I don't know if it's technically midseason, but like things are starting to get interesting. And also I think as you see teams progress in season, things get more competitive, right? I mean, teams have been working on getting better, right? So you're going to see some upsets. You're going to see some shuffling around of the top 25. You're going to see some, upsets in the Big Ten, which is, what you saw today with USC, beating Wisconsin, Michigan State, right? I mean, next week is not necessarily going to be an easy week. Northwestern isn't too bad overall. They're 13-7 in the conference. They're, 3-5. It looks like away though they're 4-2, so they don't play too bad when they're away. So Northwestern will have to show up to play Northwestern, and then Michigan State, they beat Maryland today. Maryland is not a bad team; they're a competitive team. So we'll come back home next weekend. We'll have to show up to beat both Northwestern and Maryland, and then again that Halloween match against Wisconsin at Wisconsin, that it's never easy to play in the Kohl Center, so we'll that plus that, I mean, it's Halloween. That's going to be fun. They're going to be rowdy in the Kohl Center. So, the Huskers will have to, show up and be ready to go. Here's a stat though that I wanted to share with everybody in regards to the Huskers. So, we right now, I think we're second in hitting percentage behind Hofstra for the NCAA. So right now we're at 330, you guys, offensively in hitting percentage. So, I think what's going to be really fun coming up, leading up to that Wisconsin match, is just continuing to watch the Huskers improve on the things that we're already great at, but also, what more can we bring into the mix to make us even that much more dominant from an offensive standpoint. Like I said, I thought the Huskers did a great job of setting in system the back row attack today. So what does that mean? Like you guys would be like, well, why is that important? Well, here's why it's important, because then when people are defending us, they have to be thinking about the front three attackers, and they also have to be aware of who's in the back row and who can terminate from the back row. So from a defensive standpoint of the opposing team, that's a lot of mental things you have to think about when you're defending us. And again, I'm going to watch Texas tonight. I highly recommend everybody else watching Texas as well, so that we can all be, a very educated fan group when it comes to volleyball. But I think it'll be interesting to watch them and to see if they have that parity and they have that ability on their team to do that as well. I'm not saying they don't. I just got to study them a little bit more.
Yeah, it's been interesting just diving through their schedule. I was kind of making a joke. They maybe haven't swept as many teams as we have, just because we're on a bit of a run in doing so. But as in, we know in the sport of volleyball, a lot of the top teams play each other at the beginning of the year. Texas was no different. I mean, their undefeated record is not because they haven't played anybody. They've played a tough schedule as well. So that could be interesting. As we know, in volleyball circles, as Nebraska fans, Texas and Wisconsin, these are some of the names that over the years that do pop up and
Penn State,
fight us once in a while. Penn State, for sure, yeah.
Down with the horns.
Yeah.
Yes, I think this year is an exceptional year for volleyball. So, I mean, you guys just enjoy the ride. How many people we got listening now? I want to touch on that too.
Looks like 207 on the stream.
207
now. Yeah.
You guys, keep coming back. Here's the other thing too. If you guys got some thoughts, you got some ideas you want to hear about, let me know. I appreciate anybody who, listens. It's, 6 p.m. The match has been over for over 3 hours, but I love doing this. Jake, thanks for being here today. I mean, listen, just continue to watch this landscape of college volleyball. The Huskers are number one. They just keep improving. And I think this season is just going to keep getting better and better and better.
Certainly a good time to be a Nebraska volleyball fan if you somehow maybe live under a rock and haven't noticed. But if you have been, jump out of there and support Nebraska volleyball. We love Nebraska volleyball, and we love the Nebraska Volleyball Postgame show. So thanks again, Mandy, for stopping in.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
There we go.